Good morning, Rabbi Yossi. Leilui Nishmas Mordechai. How inspirational to see Benzi Nussbaum zooming the Daf at 5:15 a.m. in London in the Cheder Halimot of the Alice Shul. Look at this. In other words, he got up in the fours to be there at 5:15. Huh? It's a Beis Hamikdash, Doctor. Beautiful. Stanford Hill. First siyum in Dallas, Texas. Josh Newman. His first siyum, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, what do we have here? Agitin Raveli. My son started with the Maseches Megillah, promised to see him in Borough Park. Included a picture of his son, Tzvi Aryeh, in the middle of a root canal. He's learning Megillah in the middle of a root canal. Wow. Who got him to come? Yisrael Goldstein, the best photographer, from his WhatsApp status. WhatsApp status works. So now, I was actually surprised in a good way that you mentioned today about the $20,000 of not watching movies on the phone. The Holy Torah is infusing each and every one of us. It resonated with me, and I would like to partner with that in that endeavor. Please feel free to call me. Okay, and I should know that the phone that he's using is only good for Waze and Torah anytime. Here's his son learning during a root canal. Was noch? A few more minutes. Rabbi Yossi, this is the Aram Merkaz, and there's a new edition. Look at this. This is a beautiful thing. Obviously, the best part of it just came back, is Reb Eli Classics. That's Pashut. But that's what I enjoy the most, because he takes Mati, Shalom Aleichem, he takes what I say and he makes it even better. Givaldic stuff. But there's a new edition. Yishkoyach. Merch. Messiah on board. And what else do we have here? All the way from New York. Oh, wow. This, if you come Matzah Shabbos, I'm going to do another toss. Then you have to wait for Matzah Shabbos. Tossing is Matzah Shabbos. You missed it. You're throwing socks. The oil was jumping over each shirayim from the Rebbe. This, Rabbi Yossi, is an unbelievable thing. We have here pieces every week from Rabbi Schoenberg. And we have a taste of Chasidus, taste of this. And now, from now on, we're going to have, I don't know what it's called, something about Sfardim. So we have Michael Ben Shitrit, Tomer Levi, who else? Aaron, I shouldn't mention his name anymore, and Arle Shalom. So they're gonna represent the Sfardim of the Shir. From Rafi Siegelstein. As you say so correctly, it's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. Thank you for your shiurim and energy. I want to inform you, I just finished Maseches Beitza while learning Megillah. I could write a few paragraphs here, but here are a few points. I started Beitza 2 times before and didn't get too far. Number 2, I noticed during Maseches Sukkah that Beitza is coming up, so I got excited. On the very day we started, my son Naftali Sigerson was born. Mazel Tov. That didn't make it so easy to start, yet I learned a few daf the day he was born. Then came Yom Noraim in Sukkos. That made it hard to keep up, but I managed to learn the daf, that day's daf, and one in Beitz as well. And now I finally get to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me the chance to do something I've been wanting to accomplish for a while. Thank you, Rafi. By Mendel Zachs. This is not me, Rabbi Yossi. Do the Persians, any Persians in the house? No, I don't know. Do they get insulted? You're Persian? Do you get insulted when people make fun of stinginess? No, they don't. Okay, so we just got from Rabbi Avram, we got Rishus to insult all Persians if they come. Mordechai Druk asked during his shir, what were the 2 greatest nisim in the Megillah? Famous joke. He said the greatest is that the Persians threw a free party for 180 days. And the second greatest is that a woman kept a secret. Yaakov Mordechai sends regards. Mendel Zachs. Yaakov Mordechai was my chavrusa, the one who threw my yarmulke out the window in the Mir Yeshiva. And now for the sponsors. This is a Megillah. Parnas HaChodesh for the Koilo is $10,000 a month. It's by Chaim from Lakewood. He's actually doing 2 months. The for a week is how much? $2,500 for a week and $360 per day. You could also sponsor a day. Leilui Nishmas, Yeshua Eli Bakhoim Ben Yonasan Chayim Zechron Levrocha. Maseches Megillah. Check out the Ami article this week about him. Maseches Megillah, the Davis and Kessler families in zechus Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther bas Devora. I don't see the time. Maseches Megillah Shmuly Hecht F-245 Leilui Nishmas Mordechai Shloime Tuvia Ben Avram Moshe Peretz. May the Shama have an Aliyah. Paras HaChodesh, another one, in honor of RL 97 Akiva Tepet for introducing me to Rebelli's Daf. Paras HaChodesh. It's not cheap, Paras HaChodesh. How much is that? 2,500? 2,600. Paras HaChodesh. Daniel and Cyril Cohen. Zechus for shleima for Gabriel Ben Yom Ben Cyril Fruma. By Hainoch Schwinger. We miss him. He was in America. Where is he, that guy? I hope he comes Maseches Shabbos. On his tustus from Yerushalayim. Leilui Nishmas, our dear brother, Yossi Schwinger. Wow. It's already a year. Yossi ben Shloime Zalman, whose first yahrzeit is this Shabbos. You are terribly missed by all of us. May the Daily Daf I do with Rebelli be in your zechus, a young guy. The Scher KIDS, to the best Tatty F-160. Thank you for everything. Happy birthday. Keep on daffing and saving Klal Yisrael. Beautiful. Anonymous. L'zchus, Miriam Esther, Bas, Malko Chano. I have Rumi and Sprincy Gross in honor of the engagement of our niece, Blim Levinson and Naftali Goldstone. And Leilui Nishmas, Brocha Bas Nosan Aleh Shalom, and her yahrzeit today, 20th of Davis. And, anonymously, Refuah shleima for Elchanan ben Sarah. Here we go, Rabbi Yossi. Today's Daf Amud Beis. Believe it or not, we had an ace, Pashat from the Nisim Niglin. Somehow we got to Amud Beis Amud Aleph. It was on that Tesla, cruise control, 78 miles an hour. So we were talking about this yesterday. Basically, we have Belshazzar, who thought that, yes, it says in the pasuk, Klal Yisrael is going to be redeemed. You don't want to mess with Klal Yisrael. You don't want to even try their the clothing from the Beis Hamikdash. It's very dangerous. So we believe in the pasuk. But if the pasuk is not mekuyim, so something happened. Klal Yisrael is not right, whatever it is. It was a false nevuah. I don't know what they thought. So Belshazzar thought it was over, right over here, 70 years from the beginning of Bavel, because that's what it says in the pasuk. So he stopped right over here. 2 years into his kingdom, he decided, okay, let me wear the begadim. They already had the begadim. He takes it out of his closet, puts it on, and dies that night. Achashverosh says, nah, he's an idiot. He figured out from the wrong. It's not from the beginning of Bavel. It means from the Gullus when they took over the Yidden. So it starts over here, 70 years over here, somewhere over here. Then the Gemara asks, but something doesn't make so much sense, because in fact, the Binyan Beis HaMikdash should have been, according to Achashverosh, it's a pretty good cheshbon, but it should have been built within his life. Why was the Beis HaMikdash built in his son's lifetime? 2 years later by Daryavish. Now, by the way, Daryavish, somebody asked me yesterday, this is Daryavish in Kurish right over here, but there's another Daryavish, the Daryavish of the son of Achashverosh. Fine. Daryavish Hamodai. Very good. So it goes like this. So Gemara, this is what we learned yesterday. I didn't have a chart, so I'll show you in the chart. Now, forget this part on the bottom, but over here, when you see it says Daryavish and Kurish, it's not 5 years for Kurish, it's actually 4. And over here, this makes a lot of sense. This I explained yesterday. 23 plus 45 equals 68. But it's not 68 years because Nebuchadnezzar died here somewhere in this year. So it's not a full year. And Bekitzer, it's really 67 years. So this whole cheshbon of 70 is missing 2 years. Now it makes a lot of sense. It's missing 2 years. The Binyan Beis HaMikdash we thought should be in the green. In fact, it's 2 years later by Achashverosh's son. That's why it's pushed off by 2 years. That's what the Gemara says. We're missing 2 years somewhere in there. Fine. Two lines from the top of Amud Beis Amud Aleph. Av Daniel by Chushbina. Daniel himself, he also made the same mistake as these kings, the Chsiv, or one of them, the Chsiv B'shnas Achaz L'Molcha. Ani Daniel Binoisi Basfarim. I looked into the Svarim. Now Svarim doesn't mean books; it means numbers. I looked into the numbers, and I thought I knew what I was talking about, but I made a mistake. In the Kamar Binoisi, I looked in he made a mistake. As the Gemara Mekomakam Kosher Kra Hadodi. We have a contradiction in the Psukim which we mentioned yesterday. Ksiv Milois LeBavel. And that's what Belshazzar thought, that it starts from the beginning of Bavel, the 70 years. When do you start counting 70? The Pasuk says 70. From LeBavel. But it's a contradiction, because it says that it starts from Bavel. Uchsiv L'charves Yerushalayim. It starts way later, 19 years later. Chayres Yerushalayim. Which one is it? Omar Rava, Lipkida Ba'alma, V'hainu D'chsiv. So, says the Gemara, there's two things going on here. There's the red, Pkida, and there's the Vihya Beis HaMikdash in blue. Pkida means Bavel had no power over the Jews anymore, and they said, you know what, go to Eretz Yisrael. Do what you want, go. Vihya Beis HaMikdash means that they physically built the Beis HaMikdash. When did the Pkida start? In Chanami, like the Pasuk says. It's really, if you think about it, the Pasuk is saying that after 70 years, you're going to be able to go to Yerushalayim. So that's what happened. After 70 years, the king said, you know what, we're not going to trap you Jews, we're not going to make a ghetto, you have to stay. Go. You want to go to Yerushalayim? Go. That happened, you're right, 70 years from Bavel. From here, from Yehoiakim actually, let's call it the second year, till here, till Koresh. 70 years. But when were they able to build the Beis HaMikdash? That took 70 years, and you count it from the Churban. From Churban till 2 years into Daryavish, the son of Achashverosh, that's also 70 years. Those are the two psukim, 70 and 70. So Koresh said, remember we had, Hashem gave me everything. And he told me to build the Beis HaMikdash. What's the continuation of the pasuk? Look, the next pasuk. I don't see it, so I'm going to have to go like this. Who wants to go up and build the Beis HaMikdash? I'm giving you reshus to build the Beis HaMikdash, says the king. Not bad. Give you reshus. Says the Gemara, Hashem said, "Tis Mashiach l'koresh." That's the pasuk. The next word, l'mishichai l'koresh. That's what it says. That's the Gemara. Asher zakti b'yimina v'chi koresh Mashiach. What? Koresh is the Mashiach. He's anointed. He's Mashiach. He's going to save Klal Yisrael. Ela omer le'akadosh baruch l'Mashiach. Hashem was speaking to Mashiach. In other words, Mashiach and Koresh are two separate things. It's not Mashiach l'Koresh, that Hashem was talking to the Mashiach, Mr. Koresh. No, Hashem spoke to Mashiach. Kama. Koresh is a bad guy. Koresh messed me up, or Koresh messed up the world, I should say. Not the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we learned that the timim of a pasuk are Pashta, Munach, Zarka, right? That's all Halacha l'Moshe Sinai. So I'm going to read this pasuk, and the Olam has to help me out when I'm done. I'm going to stop, and you continue the trup. You ready? Koyomar Hashem lemishichai le koresh. Right? That's segal. Every single time in the Torah and the Nevi'im, there's a darga segal. Not what is it called? Rashi. Zarka, segal. They go together. You never have a zarka that stops. Says Rashi. This is Rashi, not me. If you look at the pasuk, there's zarka, and then there's a mercha. What is this? The back munach, right? Munach. Thank you. I used to teach bar mitzvah lessons. Givaldi. That's why they all messed up. Yeah, I used to have a class in Chicago. I taught a lot of kids together. I also taught some guys private, but a lot of guys became Bali Kair. Seriously, I did a Shema Kashida from Mary Bird. Okay, fine, different time. Again, Hashem l'mishichai l'koresh. It should be these guys, the three, like a segal, upside down segal. But it doesn't have it. Says Rashi's like maybe the only time. He says it's the only time. I don't know. I guess that's what he means. Literally the only time. To show that it's a different, it's a pause. It's not a continuation. Hashem spoke to Mashiach about Koresh. Koresh is something else. That's how you read the pasuk. This is Rashi, not me. I said Go ahead, build the Beis Hamikdash. You know what he did? So imagine, and this is an unbelievable thing. Imagine if Joe Biden, he tells the Klal Yisrael, all the Jews, if they want, they can go to Israel. Shkoyach. So how many people are going to Israel? Nobody. If he said, listen, what? Yeah, okay, he doesn't have to say anything, they want to go. I chab. Okay. They won't let him in. Okay. But what if he said, listen, every Jew that goes, I'll give him $4 million, we'll buy him a house in Israel, Klal Yisrael would go. Shh. They don't know yet. They don't know. Before they go, they give them and they go. Fine. When they get it, they realize $4 million is not enough to buy a house. Correct.
Not the kind of house you want.
I'll sell mine for $4 million. Anybody wants to buy mine, I'll sell for $4 million. But whatever. Other people can. All right. So. Ooh. You're basing on it. Whoever said that on yesterday's email that I sold the house without telling you. Okay. Shkoyach. But listen to this. It's unbelievable. Here's a person that changed the course of history, according to the Rashba. Rashba says, if he would have told Klal Yisrael, go, and I'm helping you, and I'm going to go with you, and let's build the Beis Hamikdash, that would have been the final Geula of Klal Yisrael of the world. That was it. Mashiach would come, end of the story. He messed up. He plundered an opportunity. You have an opportunity, you take it. Squandered. Shkoyach. I plundered the squandered. Shkoyach. Zok the Gemara. Potter's grammar. Ani Amartu Ibn Beisi. You can't expect everything. Look, this one I didn't squander or plunder the cheshbon. This is not bad. I could only use my head for one thing in Bangladesh. So the bottom line is, yeah, I think everybody has these kind of opportunities in their life, and you have to choose.
She let them build the Beis Hamikdash. She gave them money to build the Beis Hamikdash.
Yeah,
I think he did was enough.
It wasn't enough.
Like,
That's
right. Let them build the Beis Hamikdash. Which king did that? He built it. He paid for it. No, it's not enough. You have to pay every single Jew.
You have a time on the Gemara again?
No, it's a strange thing. Right?
Okay, fine.
He paid for it.
Rabbi Yossi, you see from here, you got to go all out. When you have that opportunity, go all out. All out. You have an opportunity, go all out. Says the Gemara. Chayil, all in. Chayil paras and modern. Forget the language today. Chayil paras and modern apartment. Uchsiv lemalchim modai uparas. So says Rashi, the problem over here is that it calls modai malachim. It really should be the malchi paras. Who's the king? Achashverosh. Why is he saying the malchi modai? Omar Rava asni asnu adodi. They made a deal between themselves. The Parsim and the Medium, Iminon Malchi. If we are going to be kings, Minaychu Iparchi, you're going to be the governors. Minaychu Malchi, and from you, Minon Iparchi will be the governors. The Vilna Gaon says a beautiful thing here, and it goes together with Rashi very well. That in fact, why does it say Divrei Ayamim Chel LeMalchi Modei Uparas? So he says because at the end of the day. First, there was a king. Koresh was Daryavish. Was from Madai, and Koresh was from Paras. So it actually started Divrei Hayamim. If you're going to look at history, it's really Madai and then Paras, and that explains. Rashi says, why does it say Malchei Madai? And the answer is because it was in fact first Malchei Madai, then Malchei Paras. First came Daryavish, and then came Koresh. Says the Gemara. And as you notice, we're going through word for word, at least for the beginning of the Megillah, and give us a better pshat in the Megillah. Achashverosh took out the clothes from his closet. He was scared to wear them. But now that he's made a cheshbon, he saw that there's no geula for Klal Yisrael. Okay, now I can go wear them. As the clothing of the Kohen Gadol are covered in sefaris. There's 180 days of free parting. I guess it has to do with what we said yesterday. Rabbi Shmuel Machlokes, if Achashverosh is the Gnai or the Shvach, he paid for it, he didn't pay for it, maybe a continuation of that Svara. He was very smart, and if he's very smart, maybe that's why he was able to be the king. And if he's very dumb, it makes a lot of sense that the only way to get in, he had to buy himself with money. I'm just saying based on yesterday. So what happened was as follows. He went, they started out with him. Some of these countries didn't want his authority. So he went, they rebelled against him, he went and he knocked them out. He beat them to a pulp, and he says, you know what? Let's make a party. After I got you, everybody's missing somebody from the family, a lot of levias. Let's make a big party. 180 days, food, free food. Oh, I forgot that my father died and my son. Okay, a party, shmak. Okay, it works. Food works. So, some say he's very smart. He did it the right way. He went to the furthest country that rebelled and he did the party there first. The Bnei Masei, later on, the ones that were closer to him that rebelled, there's only a 7-day party. Klal is the boy, he can do whatever he wants. There's no rush. He should have first taken care of the people close to him. He needs help. He needs to first fix the guys around him, so that if the guys far away rebel again, at least he'll have help. It'll be much harder to reach them if the surrounding countries next to him are rebelling. So he's an idiot. Shal, tell me the Rashbi. Shim Bayachai. What was it? The Talmidim are asking the Rebbe. Rebbe, tell us, what do you think they did wrong, Klal Yisrael, that they deserved the entire nation to be wiped out? Let's see what you have to say. We think it has to do from the fact that they benefited from that su'uda of the Russia. It begs the question, what was the big thing? So they had enough from the su'uda, so that's why they deserve all to be wiped out, no more Jews. Says Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, that's not a good pshat. Because who benefited? Only the Jews in Shushan. So why all the Jews around the world? So Rebbe, what's the pshat? That's what we asked you. In the days of Nebuchadnezzar, they bowed to the tzelem. Exactly what it was. There's a little bit of the tzitz of the Kohen Gadol. Some say it was just the way. It was a statue of him, of Nebuchadnezzar. It wasn't an Avodah Zarah like in Iraq. They have of Saddam Hussein, the statue. Why would Hashem find favor in the Jews? If they in fact did Avodah Zarah, they don't deserve to be saved. They didn't really mean to worship Avodah Zarah. They did it from the outside. They showed as if they're worshiping, but inside they didn't believe in that statue. So therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu scared them, said, you're all going to die, forced them into tshuva. In the heart. So the Ein Yankov says, I understand that tshuva, that they were forced to do tshuva. We're talking about tshuva ma'inus, yeah? They were forced to do tshuva. So forced to do tshuva works on something like a suda. I drank some wine with the guy. Okay, forced tshuva. But how does forced tshuva work on Avodah Zarah? So he says, okay, Avodah Zarah was also einus. They were also forced. So maybe forced tshuva works for einus. You can't really kill them because of this kasha. So that goes back to this, I got to tell you this, because the Chona President said we have to do Dvar Torah for Shabbos. Little Dvar Torah. It's not a real Dvar Torah. It's more of a Purim Torah. And I tried to say it over to two of my very good friends last night. They had no idea what I was talking about. So I'm going to say it now over to Yoey. Hopefully Yoey will chap. After Shir, we'll talk to him about it. And if he chaps it, 50 shekel Yoey, you're going to... Listen stark, Yoey. And you guys up there, whoever could say this over, it's a tough one. It goes like this. We learned about Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu didn't die. Leimes. So the Gemara asked the kasha, but if Yaakov Avinu didn't die, how's there a hesped? They gave a hesped and they also embalmed his butt. So the Gemara says, yeah, very good. So the Gemara says, so the teretz is, from a kasha start minished. It's a good kasha, but you don't die from a kasha. Nobody ever died from a kasha. So then the question is, if that's the case, so how come this week's parasha? The first passage in the parasha says that Klal Yisrael came into Mitzrayim. How many? 70. But if you do the whole cheshbon, the Shvatim had twins. And with the twins, it's more than 70. So the answer Rashi says is the twins died. So you see that from a kasha you do die. You know what the answer is? How do we know that they were twins? We don't know. Doesn't say anything in the Torah. But Rashi had a kasha. Rashi said, who did the Shvatim marry? The Shvatim, they can't marry Canaan, they can't marry Mitzrayim. So who did they marry? They had to marry the twins. Oh, so if they were born because of a kasha, They could die because of a kasha. But typically speaking, you can't die from a kasha. Okay. Yo, you got it? Not really. Okay, good. Whew, save 50 shekel. But just the Ben Yoel says a beautiful thing here. He says that the Suuda that they went to was Megalgal, the Aver that they did there. In other words, when they went to the Suuda, they reinforced the fact that they believe in that Avodah Zarah, and that's why they got punished. Okay, fine. Because of the question, like, why do they deserve to die from a Suuda? The Suuda reinforces where their head was. Says the Gemara, B'chatzar ginas bisan hamelach. So there's three things going here. B'chatzar, ginas a garden, bisan is a palace. So where was the party? Which one of these three places? Rav Shmuel, machlokes. Chad omar haroy lechatzer lechatzer. If you belong in the chatzer, you go to the chatzer. Haroy legina in the garden, beautiful, the roses, the whole thing, legina. Haroy lebisan, whoever is choshev enough to be in the palace goes to the palace. V'chad omar yeshivim b'chatzer. He started out in the chatzer. He had a nice big chatzer. It was not large enough. But so then the overflow went into the gina. But gina so then he went into the palace. He put them in the chatzer. And there was two openings. If they want, they could go here, they could go there. Chur, karpasus chelas. What's my chur? What's the lashon chur? Rav Amar, chari. Chur is like a lashon of char, like a hole. There was a lot of needlepoint going on there, a lot of beautiful things. Ushmuel Amar, melas levana yitzilahem. Chur is a lashon of chivar, of white. He gave him white, beautiful white linen. Karpas. Omar Yossi bar Chanino, korim shel pasim. Karpas means karpas. Pillows of pasim. Al glile kesev amud sheish midas zav chesev. What does that mean? Let's see if we can do this. Read the Megillah, and every time the word pops up, we think about this, the Gemara. Karpas means this. What does Zav mean? Kesef mean? Whoever was on the level of silver got a silver bed. And whoever gold, there's gold, platinum, silver, different levels. You get a golden couch. What? Ding ding ding. What's going on here? There's a lot of kinna going on, a lot of Ella. No, everybody got the same couch. The legs were gold. The actual couch was silver, as Taisvis. A second ago, he said that these guys go in the. Whoever's in this madrega goes in the chotzer. Whoever's in this madrega goes in the garden. It's kinna. I want to be in the palace. What is it? Why do I have to be in the chotzer? I don't even get to the gina. I get to the chotzer. So says Taisvis, they don't see each other. No kinna. The Sisir Chacham says, and this is interesting because if you think about it, stop. It's if you hear that Eric Anderson from Florida won $400 million in the lottery. Do you care? No. But if Chas v'Shalom, your neighbor wins the lottery, the biggest kin in the world. Whew, say, if it's close by, you're Makana. What happens over there, you don't care about. Fine. That's Taisus. The Sisr Chum says that the kin is usually, people know, that I'm not on that level. That's Malchus. That person, he's up here. He deserves to go inside. Those guys, they sit in business class. I'm not from those guys. I'm not Choshavina. I'm not talking to you yet. Whatever. Okay. Today, every guy with the miles, he's in business class. And all the chashuvim in the back. That's not whatever. Rabbi, what's his name? The big Wolfson. He never said it. Remember that Maisa? They came to ask him, "Why are you sitting in coach?" He said, "What? There's something cheaper." Zog the Gemara. Okay. Bad v'sheish. Omer basi avonim shemischoitetois al baleim. You have to dig for them like diamonds. You have to look for them. Everybody wants them. V'chein oimer avnei nezer. The stones of the crown. Misnaisesois al admosoi. V'davis chares. What does that mean? Rabbi Amar dore. There was rows of stones. They had beautiful gems everywhere. Ushmul Amar even toiva yesh b'karchayom v'dorishma. There's one stone, a very expensive stone. He had it right there. Some say, I think the Ben Yehoda, the sun hit it, and the Kitzer, it gave them light. The Bay, Rabbi Shmuel, Tana, Shekara, Dror. They call Bali Schira. There's no more sales tax. He gave them a little relief from tax. V'hashkois b'chayzav, v'kelim, shoinim. Shoinim. Shkoyach. Repeat. Shoinim means to repeat. Says the Gemara, he gave, it was different types of kelim. What's the repetition of the kelim? Omar Rava Yotze Baskal Ba'Omerlem. Rishonim, Mr. Belshazzar, the king, kelim. He put on the Kohen Gadol's clothing. What happened to him? Bye that night. Vatem shoinim b'hem, and you're repeating the same shtus that he did. V'yayin malchus rov. Everybody, I'm all excited about Jacob's wine that he gave me, the Castel 2003. Imagine Castel 1960 or whatever, right before I was born, 1970. It's chashiv, what? Vinegar. Yeah, that's what they call vinegar today. But in those days, they knew how to fight. My son-in-law tried to pull that off, by the way, Avi. My son-in-law was there last Shabbos. He's like, Daddy, you know that the 2003 it's gonna go bad soon. They don't last long. You got to pop it. You got to do it now. I was like, no, Mayor. This is just something special. Nice try. No, but I'm serious. These battles don't last for more than 2003. Okay. Nah. Okay. The wine was older than him. This is amazing. The whole meal was done al pi Torah. Achashverosh did it al pi Torah. And Rashi brings down, you have to bring with the carbon 3 esroinim soilas, but only a little bit of revi'is tahin of wine, very little wine. I don't know if you ever ate out with a non-Jew. They know how to drink. That's how the restaurants make money. That's why Jewish restaurants never make money. You don't make money on food. As I is, that's the Yisai. But they drink it up. They drink a lot more than they eat. But not in this Suda. In this Suda, the food is more than the drinking. They weren't forced. Because if you drink wine from another country, it can make you drunk. You're not used to it. The Russian needs to drink his vodka. This one drinks his whiskey. Whatever fits him. So they got their wine. Each one got their own wine. What does it mean? Mordechai v'Haman. Who are the two ish? Ish. Mordechai and Haman. Rashi says, interesting. They were both the Sarei HaMashkim. They were in charge in that party. Mordechai and Haman were in charge of the wine. Mordechai d'chsiv ish Yehudi. Haman ish tzarvay. They're both called ish. Mordechai wanted to make sure the Jews don't drink yain nesach. Haman wanted to make sure they do drink. B'kitzur, they were both Sarei HaMashkim. Gav ashli amalkos so mishte noshim beis hamalchos. As the Gemara beis hanoshim miboilei, wasn't there a little tznius going on here? Well, you don't make a party for women right next to the men. Omar Rava shneim l'dvar averin iskavnu. Achashverosh and Vashti were both Rishoyim. They wanted they wanted the znus to go. They had one intent. Hanadar meinchi. Iu Bakari, he the man, he has the large pumpkins. V'itze b'butzine, and they're doing the same avera. Maybe a little stronger, a little weaker, but it's the same avera. Turning to Daf Yomi, sponsored by Aaron Stroke. In honor of my parents, Josh and Naomi Stroke, and the Zechus Nishmas, Aaron ben Shimon HaKohen. Sponsored in honor of Rabbi and Mrs. Avram Yaakov and Sarah Levin by their children. So, 7-day Mishnah for the guys that are close. What? Only on the 7th day he was nice and drunk, but on the 5th day not? Omar Rava Yoim Hashvi Shabbos Hoya. All these stories we heard in kindergarten come from these Gemaras. Says Rava, we're talking about Shabbos. Listen to this. It's unbelievable. When Klal Yisrael sits down to the meal on Shabbos, what do? We sing Shalom Aleichem, we give a Shvach V'Yodot HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We say Divrei Torah at the meal. I ate by Mendy 3 Divrei Torah, at least, minimum, right? It's a zach. Not everybody's a zech like that. Always Divrei Torah. Or Divrei Tishbachos. Aval Oivdik Chavim Shoychim Shoysim Mei Matchilim Elu B'Divrei Tiflis. They talk shtusim. That's what happened at Achashverosh. Who's more beautiful? Medois. And the Parsim said, no, the Parsios are better. Nice. So listen to this disgusting lashon he uses about his wife. The vessel that I use, I have a different one from Kazdi. You want to see what she looks like? Yeah, let's see if she's better. But the problem is, she's wearing clothing. It's not a good raya. She's a queen. She's all without anything. It's unbelievable. The Gemara tells us over and over and over. Mida, keneged Mida, that's why Rabbi Pessin has how many sfam already? Mida, keneged Mida, this thick. At least 5. 4 svarim. That what? The entire Torah is basically Mida, keneged Mida. She got what she dished out. She would take Jewish girls, unclothe them, and made them work on Shabbos. And Mimela. This is on Shabbos. On Shabbos itself. What happened to her? Mida keneged Mida. What did she do? Ve'ez asher nigzar aleh. So this ve'ez asher asasa is important. Kishem shasasa kach nigzar aleh. Ve'ez asher asasa means in the past on previous Shabbos and what she did to the Jewish girls. Batimona malkavashti. Michdi pizza savi. Now we have to understand what's going on. We said as we were turning the Amud that Achashverosh and Vashti they had intent for Avera. So then what was the big deal? She wanted to show off. So now, why was it a bad thing? Says the Gemara, she was prutza, so then why did she show up? She had a bad case of tzaras. She didn't want to show that off. So here's the Gemara. She got a tail. Now, in some books, you see like she has a horn, not a tail. It's based maybe on the Rashba. The Rashba says that she had like a yabelis, like a wart coming out of her forehead. And, over the years, the artists, they kept on going. The wart became bigger, it became like a horn, a unicorn. The king was extremely upset. What was he so upset about? Listen what she sends him. Bar Hariyore, the Abba. You're the stable boy. You work with horses. That's what I mentioned yesterday. He was managing the horses of Belshazzar. That's how he found, according to that Medrash Rabbah, he found the treasure. Abba, the Kavel V'chamra Shasi. What does the guy say? I could drink it up. 1,000 beers I could drink. Big deal. Doesn't do a thing to me. And I walk a straight line. Nothing happens to him. Vahu Gavra, my husband, Ishtati b'chamri, became a shaita when he drank a little wine, a couple cups, and he's already completely drunk. Miad, the chamasei bara boy. Says the villain going beautiful, that the chamasei bara boy, his kas was inside him. What does it mean? In the beginning, it starts off, vayiktzoi, if he was very upset. Then the chamasei bara boy, why was it in him? Because he couldn't, when a person gets mad, he blows off steam. He tells people, you know what the guy said about me? He said it. Over here, he couldn't tell anybody. He was stuck. What is he going to say? You know what she said about me? I'm a stable boy. Yeah, you are a stable boy. And he didn't want anybody to know. So the chamasei bara boy, his kas remained within him. So then the king asked the chachamim. So Goyim also have chachma. Who did he ask? Rabbanon. He asked the Jewish chachamim. Yoidei itim. It says in the Megillah, what does it mean? Because they're professionals in doing Yibra Chodesh, they know how the constellations work. Amalu, Dainuali, I need you to give me a psak din. What do I do with my wife? She refused to come. Amru Heichi Navid. They were chachamim, in fact. They knew that it's not kedai because what happened at the end? Think about it. Those who gave him the eitzah, chop chop, no more head the next day. They knew what's coming. So they had a mamad of shach over here. Hey, Navid, name it like Tala. If you tell him, kill her, tomorrow he's going to finish his drunkenness, and he's going to demand her from us. In other words, he's going to kill us. Namely, Shafka, and if we say, leave her alone, but at the end of the day, she rebelled against the kingdom. So what do they say? This is a good Musa Haskell for everybody. We don't have Beis Hamikdash anymore. We don't know how to give eitzes. Ask somebody else. I think it's better if you ask somebody else. Get them in trouble. Go to them. They're big chachamim. They know how to do this. The Yasiv Duchtayu Kechamro, the Yosef Durdaye, they're like the wine that sits on the sediment. V'tayim Amru, and they told him very nice. It was true what they said. Because in fact it's a pasuk. Chsiv, Shana Moyav min Urav, Moyav from the young V'shoikidu al El Shmarav, V'loi Hurak mikli al Kli, V'goylo leholach, al Kain, Omatamoy boy, V'reichen leinomar. His reasoning, everything is good. Go to Moyav. Go ask them. Miyad va'korev. Now, this is the lashon that the Gemara is going to talk about in a second. Why did it say va'korev? It's kroivim elav. It's plural, but it says it in lashon yachin. Who's next? Who's close to him? These young guys. Karshino, Shesar, Admoso, Sarshish, Meres, Marsano, Memoicha. Because the Gemara is going to bring those three names as well. Also, Omer Levi Kopasik Zeh Al Shum Korbanos Nemar. Because it says va'korev elav and not hakroivim elav, we could darshan something here. It's talking about the korbanos of Klal Yisrael. Karshino, Klum ikriv v'necha karim. Karshino is the lashon of karim, of sheep, of lambs. Did the goyim ever bring lambs to you? B'nei shana, a year old. Kederach sheikrivu Yisrael v'necha. Shesar. What does shesar mean? Klum ikriv v'necha shtei tayrin. Did they ever bring 2 doves to you? Admasa klum bano v'necha mizbach adama. Did they ever build a mizbeach? Tarshish, klum shimshul v'necha b'migdei kuhuna. Did they ever worship you with special clothing? Like this, oh, here. The chaysha and the beautiful stuff that the Kohen Gadol wears. Marsino, no, where am I? It says by the big nekuna, Tarshish, V'shoyam, Yoshve, different stones. Meres, Klum Mirsu, Bedam Lefanecha. Do they stir the blood before they do Zrika? Marsino, that it shouldn't congeal, you have to stir it sometimes. Marsino, Klum Mirsu, B'menachas Lefanecha. Did they stir the mincha? They put oil and flour. Memuchan, Klum Echinu, Shulchan Lefanecha. So, by the way, highly, highly recommended. Art Scrolls, a new sefer, I'm telling you, it's geshmaka stuff. Go out and buy it. Look at this. This is a new and improved shulchan that we had. I had chaval. We didn't have this when we were learning the sugyas of shulchan. It's beautiful. Here's the 2 bezichin. It's like almost 3D. This is the shape of the challah, of the lechem aponim. Okay. Did they have such a thing? Did they have a beautiful shulchan made out of gold? No. Bayoyim memuchan. Tana. Memuchan zehalman. Memuchan is Haman. By the way, he ran away. He changed his name to Haman. They were looking for Memuchan here? No. There's only a Haman. Okay, next. They killed everybody that gave the bad eitzah besides him. Shemuchan Puranos. You see a shaita, a boar, he jumps and he gives eitzahs before everybody else. We had a nace that Achashverosh sent a really dumb letter to the entire world. And because they made fun of the first letter, they made fun of the second letter. What does it say in the first letter? The second letter, we know, it says, kill all the Jews. The Meshuggah is sending us a letter again. He already said shtusim last week. What was the first letter? Each man should be the man of the house. Pshita. I need a letter for that. Even a guy as simple as a weaver, he's also the head of the house. You don't need a king to tell me that. Arum means that somebody that has a lot of seichel should do a clever one should do with das with seichel. But a shaita yifrois ivelas. He's going to say shtus. Kol arum yas b'das is David. David HaMelech was a chacham. The famous Vamelech David Zokein Bo Bayomim, he was old and he needed to warm up. So he says we have to find the Narib Psula. So what did they say? He said, I want one, I need one. And Memela, everybody wanted to have the zechus to have their daughter marry the Golad Dar, one of the greatest men ever. David HaMelech. So everybody brought the daughter. But the Chsil Yifrois, this Achashverosh, Ivelas, Zeh Achashverosh. The Chsiv, Vayavked HaMelech Pekidim. Oh, let's go grab all the women. He knew, they all knew that he's going to be boiled every single one, and he's only going to pick one out of the thousands, so it's not going to be my daughter, I'm going to hide her. Look at the pasuk here for a second. We know this pasuk, very famous, but Ushmoy Mordechai, Ben Yair, Ben Shimi, Ben Kish. We're going up 4 generations. Why 4? If you're already going to go up, go all the way up to Yemini, to Binyamin. Says the Gemara, if you're talking about, you want to show that he's from Binyamin, Then go all the way up. Then why do you pick 3 generations up? Tana, Kulana Shmoy Nikru. These are referring to Mordechai himself. Ben Yair means Ben Sheheir, a name Shel Yisrael B'Tfilasai. He opened up their eyes in Tfilah. Ben Shimi, Ben Shishama Kail. Hakadosh Baruch Hu listened to Tfilasai. Ben Kish is Lashana. Shehigish al Sharia. He knocked on the door of Rachamim V'Niftuchalai. Korle Yehudi. But it says Ish Yehudi. Alma. We're going to say Ish Yehudi. So you see that it's from Shevet Yehuda, Am Yehuda Kasi, V'Korle Yemini, but at the end it says he's from Binyamin. Which one is he? Am Binyamin Kasi. So I saw the Ein Abdullah says that he didn't change his name. It's very common when Jews live in non-Jewish countries, they become Michael and Gary and different names. In non-Jewish countries, right? No, in Eretz Yisrael nobody would do that. His name was Mordechai. He was proud. He wore his Jewishness. He was proud to walk around with the yarmulke with his name Mordechai on it. Yeah, what? You could sing it soon. Yeah. Another pshat. His father's from Binyamin. His mother's from Yehuda. Everybody fought. Like in nowadays, that bad meat that my kid has. That comes from your family. No, it's your. I know your brother has the same thing. Over here, they're fighting. Where did Yehuda come from? Where did the Mordechai come from? It came from Yehuda. I'm a Yehudanik. No, I'm a Binyaminik. Okay. I am the cause that Mordechai is around. Since Mordechai could have killed Shimon Megeru, cursed him, he didn't. David, So Memela. We caused that Mordechai was born. We caused it. Rav Amar and Rav says no, it goes the opposite. Look what Yehuda did and look what Binyamin paid back. Because he didn't kill Shimi. Who caused the whole problem of Purim? Mordechai, the Gemara says, because he made Haman upset. And what did Binyamin pay back? It's because Shaul didn't kill Agag that Haman was born. You saw many Haman in Yisrael. Have a wonderful day. Have a beautiful Shabbos. Motzei Shabbos, 7:30, not sharp. Zechus.